Do you ever wonder if your search for fleeting moments of pleasure is costing you more than you realize? Today we're diving into the hidden powers of your pineal gland and how careless habits might be sabotaging your spiritual and physical vitality. Stay with me, because what you'll discover could be the key to unlocking a higher state of existence and reclaiming control over your life. Hi, I'm Laerti, and I've dedicated my life to helping people reach the true potential that resides within them. If you're ready to take the next step in your spiritual evolution and personal development, I have something special for you. My new ebook, The Art of Semen Retention for Men. This comprehensive guide, with over 20 pages of in-depth knowledge, will teach you powerful techniques for your spiritual evolution, personal development, emotional balance, self-awareness, and self-development. You'll discover how to connect with your spiritual self and find your life's purpose. By purchasing this ebook, you will unlock the secrets to powerful spiritual growth and personal development. Learn how to achieve emotional balance and inner peace. Develop a deeper sense of self-awareness and self-improvement. Strengthen your connection to your spiritual self and uncover your true purpose in life. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life and unlock your full potential. Get your copy of The Art of Semen Retention for Men today and start your journey towards a higher state of existence. Click the link below to purchase and begin your transformation now. What I'm about to say could change your current life and redefine your entire existence, depending on how you use this wisdom. We're going to talk about your pineal gland, your cosmic antenna, and how you might be sabotaging it by ejaculating carelessly. The great physician of the Tang dynasty, Sun Simiao, said, "If a man can go 100 days without ejaculating, his body will become light, and his strength will be like that of a young man. He will be able to hear and see better, and his memory will improve. If he can go for 1,000 days, he will communicate with spirits, and his life will be prolonged." Take a deep breath, close your eyes, stay calm, and look between your eyebrows. Feel the subtle pressure between them. This is your third eye, your gateway to higher consciousness. And you are closing it with each ejaculation. Whenever you ejaculate, you are not just losing sperm, but also a complex of over 200 minerals, vitamins, hormones, and vital energy that directly nourish your pineal gland. Iron, magnesium, tryptophan, B12 vitamins, folic acid, selenium, copper, zinc, calcium, and more. These nutrients are the building blocks of your spiritual and physical vitality. Think about it. You are literally flushing your spiritual power down the drain for a few seconds of pleasure, a moment of relief that leaves you exhausted, confused, and spiritually blind. You probably feel sleepy afterward or a little disappointed. Isn't that a clear sign that your body is telling you something is wrong? I'm here with the third part of our videos about masturbation, and will explain further how ejaculation affects your mind and body, and about injuculation. Breathe and listen. Our ancestors left us a map, ancient teachings, and techniques that many mystical cultures still practice today. Science is beginning to validate what the ancients knew. If you're ready for the science, like and subscribe to the channel. It helps keep you accountable and resist temptations while helping us grow. Now let me talk about the science. Your pineal gland is not just a new age concept. It's a real organ in your brain that science is only beginning to understand. This small pine cone-shaped gland produces melatonin, regulates your sleep cycles, and, according to ancient wisdom and some of the brightest scientists, acts as an interface between the physical and spiritual realms. When you ejaculate, you are not just losing fluid. You are triggering a hormonal tsunami that directly impacts your pineal gland. Prolactin increases and dopamine drops, causing hormonal chaos and making it difficult to produce melatonin and DMT, key hormones for spiritual consciousness and the power of dreams. Breathe, there's more. Your pineal gland is your body's clock, your link to cosmic rhythms. Frequent ejaculation, especially at night, disrupts this delicate clock, desynchronizing you from the natural flow of the universe. Current studies show that semen retention can amplify the electromagnetic field of your body. Your pineal gland is extremely sensitive to electromagnetic frequencies. By retaining semen, you are supercharging your ability to tune into subtle energies and perceive realities beyond the physical dimensions and the 5 human senses. Breathe, think, look. Each ejaculation weakens this connection, making you blind to the subtle cues of the universe and deaf to the whispers of higher intelligence trying to guide you. You have the power to change this. It's a conscious choice. We need to value our spiritual potential above momentary pleasure. It's about choosing to be a god, not a slave to your impulses. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of this idea. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to guide you to understand ancient wisdom. Each choice you make either feeds or weakens your spirit. Ask yourself, is this momentary pleasure worth diminishing my spiritual vision? Is it worth calcifying my cosmic antenna, my pineal gland? Learn to transmute this energy. When you're making love and nearing the point of no return, relax, contract the perineum muscle, hold it, and visualize the energy rising up your spine and activating your pineal gland, illuminating your third eye. It's not repression, it's control, redirection, and recycling. Support your pineal gland with a diet rich in zinc, magnesium, iron, calcium, vitamins B12, C, and E, citric acid, alkaline foods, and fructose. Consider a fluoride-free lifestyle to prevent or reverse calcification. Optimize your sleep. The pineal gland produces melatonin in darkness. Sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Create a sleep-friendly environment. Remember, it's not about becoming an asexual monk, but making conscious choices, valuing your spiritual potential above momentary pleasure, and choosing to be a god, not a slave to your impulses. You will face resistance. Your conditioned mind will rebel. Society will say this is unnatural. Ask yourself, who benefits from keeping your pineal gland dim and your spiritual senses dulled? Certainly not you. The power is in your hands, literally. Master this power with wisdom. This doesn't mean you need to stop having sex. Semen retention is not about abstinence, but mastering your sexual energy. The ultimate goal is ejaculation, where you experience orgasm without losing vital fluids. You are recycling this energy, bringing it back up your spine to the pineal gland and breathing it back through your body. This is known as the microcosmic orbit. Master Mantak Chia has been teaching this technique for decades. His books are an excellent source of knowledge on the subject. The practice of ejaculation allows you to have an active sex life, but without wasting your vital essence. You will be converting sexual fluids into higher forms of energy, useful for all aspects of your life. Dr. Sun Simiao also stated that after 100 days, your voice will become clearer and more resonant, and after 1,000 days, your skin will become soft and moist. After 10,000 days, you might achieve spontaneous levitation in broad daylight. These teachings are not just about retention, but about ejaculation and recycling energy through the microcosmic orbit. They encourage skilled and diligent sexual practice with your partner, using proven Taoist methods. The ancient Egyptian proverb of Thoth, the Atlantean, states, "The gods are immortal men, and men are mortal gods." In simple terms, tantric practitioners believe that seminal ejaculation is a key to enlightenment and becoming a conscious spirit, able to leave the body and reincarnate at will. For those who ask if ejaculation prevents prostate cancer, I ask, are you really masturbating for prostate health? Be honest with yourself. Regular ejaculation is not necessary for prostate health. Ejaculation allows the benefits of orgasm without the loss of vital fluids. Recent studies show that ejaculation frequency and prostate cancer risk are not conclusively linked. Your lifestyle, diet, and genetics play a much more significant role in prostate health. Think about it. Maybe, just maybe, the forces controlling the world want you to keep ejaculating. A population constantly drained of its vital energy, anesthetized by cheap dopamine spikes, and unable to question the global obsession with sex and ejaculation, is an easy population to control. Are you truly making a free and conscious choice every time you masturbate, or are you just following your conditioning? Take a deep breath and feel the weight of this idea. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to help you understand ancient wisdom. Every choice you make either feeds or weakens your spirit. It's not about becoming an asexual monk, but about making conscious choices and valuing your spiritual potential above momentary pleasure. To start, pay attention the next time you feel the urge to ejaculate. Pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this momentary pleasure worth diminishing my spiritual vision? Is it worth calcifying my cosmic antenna, my pineal gland? Begin to see your sexual energy as sacred. Your body is a temple, and your pineal gland is the holy of holies. Treat it with the reverence it deserves. Learn to transmute this energy. When making love and nearing the point of no return, relax, contract the perineum muscle, hold it, and visualize the energy rising up your spine and activating your pineal gland, illuminating your third eye. It's not repression, it's control, redirection, and recycling. Support your pineal gland with a diet rich in zinc, magnesium, iron, calcium, vitamins B12, C and E, citric acid, alkaline foods, and fructose. Consider a fluoride-free lifestyle to prevent or reverse calcification. Optimize your sleep. The pineal gland produces melatonin in darkness. Sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Create a sleep-friendly environment. Remember, it's not about becoming an asexual monk, but making conscious choices, valuing your spiritual potential above momentary pleasure, and choosing to be a god, not a slave to your impulses. You will face resistance. Your conditioned mind will rebel. Society will say this is unnatural. Ask yourself, who benefits from keeping your pineal gland dim and your spiritual senses dulled? Certainly not you. The power is in your hands, literally. You will never have greater or lesser dominion than that over yourself. A man's success is measured by his self-mastery, his failure by his self-indulgence. This is the law of eternal justice. He who cannot establish dominion over himself will have no dominion over others. The secret to self-discipline is simple. Your purpose must be so strong that it outweighs any desire or disturbance that stands in your way. Masturbation and semen loss are great disturbances that drain your resources. They severely hinder your efforts to achieve your life's purpose and, therefore, have no place in your life. They must be eliminated. Today's man must protect his imagination against unworthy thoughts to gain intellectual and moral freedom and be able to focus on valuable matters, something a man who does not control his sexual impulses cannot do. It's easy to see that an uncontrolled sex life is the enemy of intellectual capacity because it demoralizes the power of application, lowers ideas, and wastes the physical resources that should be used to develop new brain cells. Mastering self-discipline will not only bring success in semen retention, but in all areas of your life. This human quality creates value in the individual. If you are dissatisfied with your position in life, self-discipline is the vehicle that will take you where you want to go. Those who have achieved great feats, who are at the highest levels of their respective fields, all possess this quality of self-discipline. Without the ability to focus for long periods on a single purpose, progress cannot be made. I've bought many books in my life, but read fewer than I bought. Buying them is easy. Just hand over the money or click the order button. But reading them is hard. It takes time and patience. You have to pick up a book you're not invested in and sit down to read for at least 20 minutes or more before it starts to get interesting. Almost every book I start takes a while to engage me, and often I don't even fully get into the story. Sometimes I feel a strong urge to quit before the story even begins, but the will to continue, knowing that things will eventually get better, is what I'd like to discuss. This is where the root of focus and self-discipline lies. The will to continue something you're not seeing immediate benefits from. Understanding that short-term sacrifices must be made for long-term success is the challenge of retaining your sexual energy. It wants to escape your body, but you use your higher faculties of thought and rationality to control your lustful impulses. Thus, the fire of your passions is contained and transmuted into your work and purpose. Being able to exercise such control is rare in humans, and those who master this will learn the art of self-discipline. Successful people possess this quality of discipline, and you must achieve it too. It's vital that you learn to master your instincts and subdue your desires for a greater outcome. This is an invaluable quality that is becoming rare in the modern world. Nowadays, you can pick up a smartphone and be hysterically entertained in 3 seconds. You don't need to learn the characters' names or know the backstory first. You can instantly watch a cute animal, a 10-second comedy routine, a travel video, or anything else you can imagine, providing a 10-15-second high. And then, as it wears off, you load the next 10-second video to satisfy your appetite. Imagine how this affects your brain. While a drug usually wears off in a few hours, this tech drug wears off in 10 seconds, requiring you to watch the next video to get satisfied. After developing this habit for long enough, your brain gets addicted to this short-term data acquisition and no longer seeks to make long-term investments in deep thoughts as it used to when reading books and other sources of information, where you digest information more slowly and deeply. The connections made in your brain from this exposure are more superficial, and as a result, the mind loses a quality of depth, attention to detail, and cannot grasp the finer subtleties of everything. The qualities of intuition, creative insight, and perceptive ability are derived from deep thinking and sustained concentration over long periods. Deep thinking allows more brain activity, thus more nerve cells connect to create new synapses that advance our knowledge and understanding in a given area. Reading books teaches a valuable skill in life. It trains you to gain deeper knowledge from long periods of focused concentration on a specific story or subject. It exercises your will, an invaluable quality that promotes intelligence, deep insight, creative thinking, and intuitive ability. Social media tends to encourage the opposite. It encourages the mind to lose interest in something after a few seconds. Now, entire generations are growing up with this way of viewing information. How does this affect society? How does it affect the world? It's often said that the world has changed dramatically since the advent of the smartphone. We are more connected than ever in history. Much of the work we needed to do to acquire knowledge in the past is no longer necessary, as we can access information at the push of a button or the touch of a screen. We no longer need to endure boredom. I remember being bored often in the 90s, having a few hours here and there with nothing to do. In those moments, I was forced to be more creative. Sometimes I wrote stories, explored the neighborhood, or dreamed about my ideal future, with great detail about the house I'd live in, the woman I'd marry, my flying car that served ice cream, and other strange concepts. At that time, my mind floated in a mental space I no longer need to access due to the endless entertainment options of the smartphone. Since the advent of the smartphone, I no longer need to think of ways to entertain myself. The phone does it for me. The need to create my own world from my thoughts and entertain myself has disappeared. That creative world that used to exist in my mind has largely vanished. Older generations always preferred their old ways of life, calling it survivor bias, so what I'm saying might not be new. However, unlike previous generations, the level of accessibility to information that came with the introduction of the smartphone was not a standard incremental advancement. It was a giant leap into the future from the world we previously existed in. Life before the smartphone was a completely different experience, requiring a very different thinking system and way of life. The entire content of the world's knowledge has been reduced to a small portable device accessible to almost anyone on Earth. Of course, this is evolution, and overall, it's a good thing if we judge good as evolving to a more advanced way of life. However, our independence of thought, ability to think deeply, and our faculties of focus and discipline have been heavily affected. Semen retention is a resistance against this decrease in self-control, against this weakness of the brain to sacrifice future aspirations for instant stimulation and momentary pleasure. Starting to retain semen is like picking up a new book for the first time. You know the first 20 pages or the first 2 weeks won't bring many noticeable benefits, but despite that, you continue and persevere, and over time, the benefits start to appear. Like reading, semen retention teaches the art of discipline, one of the most important qualities for a man, a quality that the smartphone generation is gradually losing. You have to learn to endure pain, boredom, and difficulties for a greater purpose. Today's world is much easier and more convenient compared to the days of the past. Air conditioning is everywhere now. Sleeping in a very hot or cold room was normal back then, but is now rare, and our ability to tolerate heat and cold is weakened. It's reasonable to assume this lowers our threshold for discomfort and might even affect our overall immune system. In the old days, in Nordic countries, babies were often taken outside to nap in below freezing temperatures. It was said this made them stronger, strengthening their immune system and providing fresh air, which prevented bacteria and other problems associated with breathing warm indoor air. Food options have increased dramatically, and access to these foods is as easy as pressing a button. The price barrier used to make traveling abroad much less common, while now it's easy to buy a ticket and go somewhere. I can watch any movie ever made at any time. I can reconnect with anyone, including an ex-girlfriend or an old school friend if I want, with a few clicks. The world is getting smaller. All this convenience is affecting us, essentially doing the work for us, making us more dependent on technology and less dependent on our own efforts. In many ways, it's weakening us. While we are gaining the secrets of the future, we are also losing something. It's not so easy to become more disciplined just by hearing the command. Becoming disciplined requires a sincere purpose and, above all, a strong emotion. The most effective emotion is dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction with your current state of life, with being mediocre, with failure. Develop a total disgust for a weak mind. Set a high standard of living. If you want to be a man of value, you need to act like one. You are your habits. Decide the type of man you want to be and the kind of life you want to live. Look at your own life now. Feel the dissatisfaction with where you are, and let it motivate you to get out of your circumstances and achieve your goals. Living a life of self-discipline has much more to do with purpose than restriction. You have a purpose to fulfill. Self-discipline will ensure that your daily activities are aligned with that purpose, that every moment you are doing the most beneficial activity to achieve your overall goal, without being distracted by impulsive desires or irrelevant mundane issues. If the ultimate goal is not yet in sight, self-discipline will allow you to focus on the next step, and from that step, another usually appears, bringing you closer and closer to your final purpose. Eliminate all the noise around you. Focus on your mission. Take the necessary steps today without fail. Don't worry about problems that haven't arrived yet. Otherwise, you'll worry as much now as in the future if they ever materialize. That would be a waste of energy. You will cross any bridge when you get to it. Trust that the universe will prepare you for it when necessary. Focus on what needs to be done today and do the same tomorrow. Follow this, and you will develop discipline, and with discipline, you will fulfill your purpose in life. Are you ready to break free from the cycle of exhaustion and disconnection? Do you want to reclaim your energy, enhance your spiritual awareness, and truly unlock your potential? The journey starts with understanding and mastering your inner power. Don't let a few moments of pleasure rob you of a lifetime of vitality and purpose. If you found this video enlightening, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need this wisdom. And don't miss our next video, where we'll dive even deeper into transforming your life. Your journey to greatness begins now.